Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host Davion, but today we're back talking about Chelsea FC. Chelsea FC is a football club that I support, and it's one that I'm going to be talking about a lot more this upcoming season on the channel. I'm definitely going to start talking about it probably at least once a week. So look out for that. But yes, firstly, we're going to start by giving my opinions on how I think preseason went. I think preseason looked night and day from last season. Last season, Chelsea struggled. In the preseason, we lost to Charlotte FC, which is just not that's not good enough for the club. We just didn't win games. We didn't care about it. We had way too many players in the squad who shouldn't have been there. But this season, I mean, we're scoring goals, which is something that we struggled with big time last season, is scoring goals. And pathetic how many goals we scored last season. But I mean, I think this preseason we've always scored more than 10 goals, which is unheard of from Chelsea over the past season and a half, honestly 2 seasons. But yeah, it's good to see us scoring again. But some of the things that some of the takeaways that I have is not Cuckoo, and Kunku looks really good in this Pochettino system. He looks really good. Um, when in front of goal, he looks really good when it comes to having an effect on the offensive side of the ball and the attacking side of the ball. And I'm appreciating us having a good forward player again. Same with Jackson. They're both playing really well together, and hopefully I can see these guys play a lot better. And as we continue to watch them in the future, I mean, they are the future of Chelsea Football Club. They're both young. I think Nkunku's probably 23, 24. I know Jackson's 21. And so I mean, they're the future of the club, and if we can get goal scores back into our offense, back into our attacking and midfield, it would provide it would pull a weight off our shoulders. I think my only problem with this preseason is the question of will our defense hold up. I think we went out today and bought a guy from Monaco for 45 million. Their center back, their French center back. I can't remember his name at the moment. But other than that, I feel like we're in a place where it's like Holdwell, he's our future. He's probably going to start. We got Thiago Silva, who's how is his hamstring going to hold up this season? Is the age going to finally catch up to him? I mean, we know he's a world class defender. We know he's a world class player. Um, but will he hold up when it comes to injuries? We got Fafana, who's out I think he's out for 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. And the other French center back, he's also out for a couple of weeks, or I think at least 6 weeks. So it's one of those points where it's like our defense will be our biggest question mark, and where that will go, like what does that look like? I definitely think we need to be done doing transfer business by the start of the season, and so 2 weeks by the time Liverpool comes, like we need to be done because we can't continue to bring players in and out of the squad once the season starts. I don't know when the transfer ends because I think they just moved it back, so it might end on September 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, get some transfer businesses done and let's start shoring up the squad. I think there's two players that we should sell going into the end of this window. We should sell Cucurella, who, in my opinion, is awful. I know he had some personal stuff going on last season, but he is terrible. There's nothing there. I saw Potts try him out in the midfield, and he looked a lot better there, but he can't defend at all in any position, and he's a liability on the field. We should have never bought him. I mean, we overpaid for a player that we didn't necessarily need, quite frankly, and we overpaid for a player that, if we have all these left backs now that have came back on loan. You had Lewis Hall who could play that position really well. Why didn't we just put him in there instead of going to get Cuckoo? I mean, he just doesn't work in our system. Send him back to Brighton, quite frankly. And then I think we should let Sterling walk as well. Sterling, listen, when we signed Sterling, there was no reason for it. I mean, we had Christian Pulisic at the time, we had Lukaku at the time, we had um, those guys, we had Havertz, and we sold Timo Werner for Sterling, which is stupid. Werner should have stayed at Chelsea, plain and simple. But I mean, just thinking about it, like when we bought him, it was for I think it was for 30, 40 million. There was no point. He wasn't fitting in the squad. He didn't contribute to the squad last season, and I don't think he'll contribute this season. So get him gone. Get both of those players gone off their wages and for no reason. Like we don't need them. We just don't. We have a better squad without them. And I think I would give some praise to Pochettino, even in the preseason. I listen. I know it's a preseason. I know not many players are out there wilding and being the best they can be. Well, not saying that none of the squads are at their highest point, but I feel like we looked exceptional in the preseason. We looked put together and ready to start this new chapter with Poch, and I give all that praise to Poch because he came in and completely changed the, changed the team around. He came in and literally sold 15 players, which is what we needed. I mean, we had a big squad, and a lot of those guys are on a downfall of their career or on the back end of their career and taking up high wages and just not needing at the club. And so I'm glad to see all those guys go, and I'm glad to see Poch really come in and completely change the narrative of what Chelsea FC is. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've said I'm excited for a season with Chelsea for Chelsea. But now I'm truly excited and ready to watch this next season. Like really ready to. Um, and so listen, we have 2 weeks until the Liverpool game to start the season, and the squad that I think we will go into the season with is this one. What I think we'll go into. Well, I'll put it on the screen if I find it. But listen, I think our the squad we'll go into it with it consists of a couple of different players. I mean, it consists of. Oh, I can't find it. Well, I'll just talk about it while I look at it or look for it, I guess. I think we should start um I think we should start Mendy. No, not Mendy. This is why I had it up. I thought is huh, got it right there. All right, here's the squad I think we should go into the season with. Jackson up front. He and Nkunku both have provided something new to the club. Mudrik, I think he should start on the left. My problem with Mudrik is, and I feel like no matter what, he won't start. So I'll probably take him out. I don't think he'll start because he hasn't really played much this preseason at all. I don't think he even took the trip to the US. I think Mudrik will start. My problem with Mudrik is that he continues like he's very great. He's so much potential for him, but like he's not involved enough for me. Like he doesn't get the ball enough. He's not in the mix for me enough. And so I feel like that's my only problem with Mudrik is like I don't know if he needs to drop more to receive the ball or get more tuck in to the middle of the field, but he gets on the left side and he's alone and he's gone and there's nothing for like and it sucks so much. So I think getting him more involved would be great. And Kum Kum Jackson, they're playing pretty exceptional. I think if you get the ball out wide to Mudrik, his pace will beat every single defense in the Premier League. Um, Enzo, obviously, absolute stud. I think he'll be able to like go forward more in this system, and I think he'll be able to provide more of a offensive or attacking, I would say, offensive, a more of attacking minded like movement. Like he has to be better going forward, and I think he plays more as a center mid to a center attacking mid, than the CDM role that he's had to play for Chelsea anyway. So we go in and we get the kid from Brighton, Casado. Like the deal needs to be done. Like I don't know if they want 100 mil, 120 mil, but the deal needs to be done. There's no point in still dwelling on Okay, 80 mil they're not gonna accept $80 million, 80 million pounds or whatever it is. So just give them 90, give them 100, and get this deal done. Like, we can't sit here and keep playing with it. That does not make sense to me. I think Cheswell or Chilwell, he is the best left back that we have at the club right now, plain and simple. I think he should start every game. We just shouldn't see the first or second rep at all. He should be gone. I think Chilwell can start, and I think Colwell from Brighton or back from Brighton now, he should start. He easily has a place in the club, especially with the likes of Fofana and Bash being hurt right now. We got Thiago Silva obviously starting captain, Kepa in goal. Listen, say what you want. I understand that we need a new um, goalkeeper. I understand that, but right now the window's closing. Kepa's all we got, I think, for a little while. So just deal with Kepa. And I think that'll be it. And I think Reece James will be our captain. Reece deserves it. He is the best, one of the best right backs on the planet, and I see nothing wrong with Reece being our captain and starting every single game this season. I mean, he's a stud, and I would say Chelsea has a lot of depth right now and has a lot of depth when it comes to young players as well. So I think this is a squad for the future. I think we'll probably end up throwing Sterling if he stays in the right mid position, but there's so much others that we can go with. And I'm excited. I mean, if we want to, we can push Reese up to that right wing, right mid position, and then put in I think his name is Mato, the guy that came back from Leon. So at that right back position. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that Poch can do. I'm excited to see what Chelsea does in that first game of the season against Liverpool. I just want to be competitive again. We don't have to win that game, but I just want to be competitive again. And so, yeah, Chelsea fans, football fans, let me know how we feel, my opinions about this, and let me know how we think Chelsea will do in the future. This has been the post game. Peace.